Hey everybody. So I come to you this morning with a question and some thoughts because I've had a lot of time to think lately, and you know I tend to overthink and I tend to think a lot anyways. So I have a hypothetical for you. What would you do given maybe your work situation if, let's say, the loved one closest to you, maybe your spouse or your significant other, suddenly got sick and needed you there for, let's say, a week period of time, suddenly. And you just had to be there. You'd take him or her to doctor's appointments, you had to be at home to help, and maybe you have a job where you just can't suddenly be gone for a week, okay? Because that was my case at my job. Now let's say that week is done and suddenly you get sick. And you end up in the ER and then the hospital for a week. And now you can't go to work. And now you're out of the hospital, but you're still recovering. Okay, so what do? So even if maybe you have sick time, but you have a job where you just really need to be there, but you've just been off for your significant other for a week, now you were in the hospital for a week, now you got to be recovering, and you don't know how long that recovery is going to be. And now you're stressing out, and you're supposed to relax. What do? What would you do? Okay, it was a hypothetical, I said, but in reality, that's the life that I've just lived in the last few weeks. Craziness in our household right now. My husband was down for a week. I ended up in the ER. I ended up in the hospital for a week, and now I'm recovering at home. Thankfully, all is going to be okay. But if this had happened when I was still working my full-time job, Jesus, take that wheel. Because I had a job where I had to be there. In court reporting, there's very few court reporters out there. Even though I had sick time, it was tough to have somebody there to do my job. And no fault of anybody else's. Anytime I have been in the hospital, yeah, I've been there quite a few times in my life, they've needed me to come back as soon as possible. And I stressed about it, and I could not just kind of relax and take my time in recovering. Let's take that another step further. So now I'm blessed. I get to stay at home and recover. I'm in the hospital. This is my first time of being in the hospital and being home with my virtual and mobile-based business. And finally I start feeling better. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, so now I run my own business and I'm kind of freaking out because this is my income. And I'm like, okay, now I'm freaking out because now I'm not working my business because I've just been laid up. And I'm like, okay, I have an app where I can check what's going on. And I had let my team know I'm out of commission. You guys kind of take over the team, help each other out because I'm out. Honestly, it brought tears to my eyes. Residual-based business hit home to me. I'm going to have tears in my eyes again because residual-based business on consumable product, I thought I understood really. You see me post all the time. Hello. But it hit home exactly what that is. I'm laying in a hospital bed and my business is still thriving. I have the best team ever. We work with the best company because my business never missed a beat. Can you say that? Can you honestly say that if that happened to you? God forbid, and I hope none of this ever happens to any of you. But this was such an eye-opening. One of my great friends and on my team asked me to do this video. I kind of did a training video for my team and to let them know that I'm still sucking wind and I'm home and I'm okay. And she said, Rachel, you have such a strong story and what all happened to you and the journey that I went on through this. You got to share this with people. My team came and just woof, their own businesses, which of course helped me. They took care of things for me while I was gone. Do you have people that do that for you in your line of work that truly care? that you wouldn't miss a beat if you were out? Because I'm truly blessed. And I do that for others as well when they're out. That's how we roll. That's totally how we roll. Now, this isn't a pitch just for my business. This is something that have a plan B in place before something happens in your life. Because it can happen to any one of us in the blink of an eye. I didn't see any of this coming. Let me tell you, I sure as heck never thought I was going to have pancreatitis. Now, I had follow-up doctor appointments yesterday. I had to schedule follow-up tests and all sorts of crap coming up. In my previous job, that would have stressed me out because I would have had to try to get off of work when I had a court calendar. Blah! But instead, I could just simply schedule it around my time freedom. I cannot tell you the blessing that is to me and what I want for everyone in their life. There are no do-overs in this life. There's makeovers, but there's no do-overs. So don't let fear get in your way of whatever might be in your life that you really want to do. Whatever it is, don't let that fear get in your way. Let it drive you instead. Let it drive you. Look it square in the eye and let it drive you. You know, I've made a lot of decisions in my life where people have doubted me, looked down their nose at me, thought I was freaking nuts, and it was hard at times. Really hard. But overall, it's your life, and you need to do what's best for you. This is your life. You know, I started my business 3.5 years ago, and people were like, it's another direct selling, it's skincare, it's multi-level marketing, all that stuff we all deal with. But in reality, it was partnering with the most well-known dermatologists in the world. And I built my business on a very part-time basis during a full-time business. And this last week's laying in that hospital bed, I've never been more grateful in my life because I didn't listen to the naysayers. Instead, I did what was best that I knew was best for me and my family. Just like other things I've done in my life that I knew was best for me at the time. And I'm sure there's plenty of you out there right now that are trying to make decisions in your life that you're scared to make because of what people say, what people think, because that's what we do, right? Why do we let those people get in our heads? Don't do that. They're not living your life. They're not making your decisions. They're not paying your bills. They're not walking in your shoes. So don't let them. You know, and I'm ashamed to say that many, many years ago, there was a time where I judged people too. And the first time that people started judging me, the same people that I thought were my friends, and they started judging me long time ago, I realized that was the worst thing you could ever do. Now, live your life. There's no do-overs. There's only makeovers. So, that is what I told you I had a lot of time to think. In this last 2 weeks, a week in the hospital and a week at home has done an awful lot more. So when somebody comes to you and they maybe have an idea, or they want you to try something new, or they want you to join their business, or they want you to go on a vacation, or they want you to do something, it's because they're sharing a gift, or they're thinking a lot of you. Don't live by fear. Do what's best for you and not what's best for that person who wants to talk about you or look down their nose. Do what's best for you. Live on the edge a little bit. Step out of that comfort zone. Don't live on that hamster wheel because that's what society tells us to do. Who cares? You're never going to be able to change anything. Life's going to stay exactly the same if you don't change. You're going to still have the bills, the stress if you don't change. And if you don't have a plan B in place for if something happens like what just happened to my family. I mean, who would have thought my husband was going to be down for a week and then I was going to immediately end up in the hospital? I sure didn't see it coming. But we're sure grateful that we were planning and that now I get to just stay home and relax. And I'm still working my business while I'm home. And I'm still thriving. And I thank God every day I have the best team behind me, working with me, right alongside me for a company that is incredible. So whatever you have to do for that plan B, and to have people beside you that truly love and care about you instead of going maybe to a job that you hate or whatever it is you need to change in your life, do it. Life is short. It's so short. In a blink of an eye, things change. It is so short. So, remember everything I said. Live life, love it, grasp it, every last minute of it. And don't live for somebody else, live for you and your family. Look fear in the eyes and just laugh at it and do it anyways. All right, so that's what I got to say today. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Step outside that comfort zone a little bit every day, and it gets easier every single time. And to my team, if you're watching this, again, as I said the other day, thank you so much for all you do for me and all the smiles you put on my face. And I am proud to be alongside you every day. Have a great day, everybody.